Hey, what's going on, everybody? So subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Probably take off this hat. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Give me a like and let me know how you feel below. Comment your experience. Sun's right over there, it's coming up. So in this video, I want to talk about overcoming the fear of talking to women, girls, and vice versa. So men, guys, gentlemen, and there's a bunch of ways. Honestly, there's a bunch of ways, and we're going to go over them. So the first thing is you're just creating a fear in your mind of something. So usually when you go or think about a situation, how it's going to be, how you would like it to be, and it can be any situation, but basically it never comes out that way because that's just how you think it in your mind. If you let your mind go, and this is what meditation's about, not saying you have to do it, but because you don't really need that, but you can use it, and a lot of people do. When you let go of the thoughts, there's nothing there. So you're just implementing panic and scare into yourself, or fear, like we were just talking about. So let's say you're going to approach a girl or something like that. You are getting a fear. You're giving yourself a fear. And it's just as simple as that. I wish I had something to hold up the camera so I didn't have to hold it up. But you're giving yourself fear. So you just need to say that fear is not really there. You're making it up in your head. And you will always make it up in your head because that's the only way it can be there. So that's one thing you need to get over, is just creating the fear. Most of the time it's just you creating it. And so another thing we can look at is when it's just like, again, like I said the first time, creating the fear, you just need to let that go. It's created in your mind. And once you get past that, there's really not going to be any barrier. And this pretty much goes with any life situation. There's always going to be some fear of, can I do it? Can I not do it? What's this person going to think? What am I going to think? Am I going to embarrass myself? And the list goes on, and it's not going to stop because it's just about that situation. And you won't feel that way with whatever you do, but in certain predicaments you do. But the whole thing is you're just creating that. So that's one thing, is overcoming the fear and getting out of your head. Because it doesn't matter what happens. We're all going to die one day, and you need to get over that. It's not really important at all, actually. It's nothing. You're just making it into something in your head, which is what's giving you the problem. Sorry, I ran into some spider webs. And so another thing to look at, which would be number 2, is what to actually do in this situation. It depends on what the person's doing. Now, if someone's, like I said, it depends on the situation. So if someone's eating, it's very rude to go up to them and say something. It's just, you can still do it, but it's just not, it depends on what the person's doing, what's the circumstance. If someone's eating, it's just not right to go up to someone who's eating. You know what I mean? Maybe ask them to talk after or something. But anyways, it all depends on the circumstance and the situation. But at the end of the day, what's going to go on is you just need to approach them and talk to them. Whether it's going to be some simplistic conversation or something real smooth. And you can keep trying things. The more you do it, obviously you're going to succumb to it and have more practice doing it. And so it won't bother you as much, or you'll think smarter and wiser. Because everything in life is just very simple. It's just a very simple task. So when you do something, it doesn't matter if you have some hardcore thing of barely saying anything at all, just some simplistic, how's the day, how's the weather, how are you, you look beautiful, simple things like that. But that's basically how everyone does it. There is some some complicated things and smoother things, but you're just gonna have to build that. And some people don't naturally have that charisma and characteristics about them, so you'll just have to do that yourself. And someone who does, good for them, but they still do simplistic talks. They're not just gonna dive into something super deep, though you can. But the thing is, just be simplistic. It's just gonna be, that's how most people do it all the time through everything. And it breaks the ice and crosses those barriers. So, and that's that. Just be simplistic. You don't have to be as simplistic as possible, but add your twist to things. And that moves me on to the third thing is just, it's not if a girl doesn't want you, she might not be interested in you. She might not care how you look. She might be a bitch. She might be going through a hard time. She might be eating or talking to her mother and so many things, you know what I mean? She might be way too busy to talk. So don't act like talking to somebody's them ignoring you or them not giving you the opportunity or denying you, whether it's ignorant or they did it peacefully. It's still gonna happen. So, and don't let that be the end of the road either. You're gonna have to try probably multiple times before you get somewhere, for the most part. And that's just the way it's gonna be. Another thing is, it's not the end of the world. It's never gonna be the end of the world. If you let one girl tear you up, then obviously she wasn't the one for you. And again, you're putting it through your mind oh, she denied me, this is it, this is the only one. There's so many females out there and so many girls. Whether she was your soulmate or not, if it's over, then it's fucking over. You need to move on. It's pretty much as simple as that. Really, the key to everything is simplicity and to get out of your mind. But more so, just because someone doesn't want you, it's not the end of the world. You're going to get that probably multiple times. So don't act like you don't go kill yourself over somebody, murder over somebody, and just don't act like it's the end of your world. It's pretty much as simple as that. And yeah, that's pretty much it for all I wanted to say. One would just be, we'll just recap real quick, is just getting over the fear. The fear of, there is no fear. You're just creating that fear. Once you realize that or become aware of it, then you won't do it to yourself as much, and then eventually it won't even be there. Though obviously it's harder than it sounds. So you just have to just maybe do some meditation or some practices to get you there, or just do it yourself. Another thing I guess you add on to that is watch other people approach other people. Watch how some other people who claim they're experts, or ask someone else what they do that gets a lot of attraction or something. If you just watch and observe without thinking, you'll see, and maybe they'll even tell you, and you'll have the answers. And number two would be, keep it simplistic. For the most part, you can add your own twist. You can make it complex too if you can do that. A lot of people are simple, super simple. They're super simple, and they love simple stuff, super simple stuff. So you don't even got to get into detail or simplicity. If you see it all the time, everyone starts with the simple things, how are you doing? How was your day? Da da da. And then the third one would be, it's not the end of the world, and who cares? You're not embarrassing yourself. You probably need that embarrassment. If you feel like you're embarrassing yourself, you're the only one that feels that way. Even if everyone's laughing at you, still go do your thing. Still go hit on that person, or whatever it is. It just shows who you really are, because you are who you really are. And that's basically it. Super easy. It's not hard. It's not complex. It all depends how much time you're putting into it and how many people you're talking to, obviously, to get more results and what you want. And it also would make some sense to don't go try to get stuff in your daily routine necessarily. So if you don't go to clubs, then it probably wouldn't be the best idea to try to go to the club and get someone. Not saying you can't do that or whatever, or you shouldn't, but you should do stuff that you're more so like accustomed to, as in, you know, just like, don't go somewhere where you're never gonna go. Maybe not going in a library or some type of store you're never going to. Not saying it can't happen there, but if you're trying to think of somewhere to go, because you can go anywhere and do whatever. But if you want more of a chance to meet someone that you might be interested in, you're probably going to meet them doing something you're already doing or something like that. But that being said, opposites attract, and there can be completely different opposites too. But more than so, and more often than so, you're going to meet someone who kind of likes doing something similar to you, such as being outdoors or, you know, exercising, things like that. So that's basically all I have to say. Thanks for watching the video. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a like. This is in 4K. So yeah. Leave your comment below, or experience, or anything you'd like to touch upon. Alright, I'll see you guys later.